What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to take a quick look at a scalp I took on Euro USD this morning. Now before I show you this trade breakdown, let me just prove to you this is a trade I actually took. Here is my screenshot of me entering my trade in the Discord, as well as when the trade completed. So let's go ahead and break this down. So the first thing that you'll notice on Euro USD on the hour time frame is that we are in an uptrend. And then we start getting to this area right here where price can't break past this higher high. It just keeps hitting it and then rejecting off of it. And we also keep hitting this higher low right here. So we know as long as price stays in this range and doesn't break beneath the higher low, that we are still in an uptrend. And for that uptrend to happen, we need to create a new higher high, but that obviously doesn't happen, and we end up breaking beneath this higher low, indicating that structure is now changing and we are in a downtrend. So obviously I wasn't on the charts when this happened, so I had to wait for the next opportune moment for me to get into a trade, which would be the retracement of when price broke the structure right here, because obviously we know price doesn't just go in one straight line up or down. We know that price has phases where it comes up, goes down, up, down like this. So now that we are in an uptrend, I'm simply waiting for price to make that retracement and looking for an area that makes sense for price to retrace at. So if we look into the past, we can see that price rejected off of this area numerous times. And if you look into the past, you can see how across the board price has been rejected here for a very, very long time. So it makes sense that when price revisits this area, that it's probably going to do that again. And we can see that it does that with this engulfing candle right here. It completely engulfed the previous candle and 50% of the candle before that. So now that I have all of this in mind, I know that we're in a downtrend. I know that I'm looking for a retracement to happen, and this is an area where price has rejected multiple times. This is probably the area where I'm going to start looking for my entries. So I go ahead and go to a 5-minute time frame to get a little bit more information. So we can see if we look over here, we're going to do the same process again. We're in a downtrend. We're waiting for price to break structure because we're looking for short-term buys into that retracement. So the first thing that I notice is this is our last lower high, and this is our last lower low. So once again, we know as long as price stays in this, we are still in a downtrend until the previous lower high gets broken, which happens right here. So now we know that we are in an uptrend, which coincides with the short-term buy we're looking for, the retracement on the hour. I also notice that we have this inverted head and shoulders, but it's not very clear. So I decided to drop down to an even lower time frame, like the 1 minute, to see if I can get any more information. So the first thing that I notice is that this is indeed a inverted head and shoulders. We have the right shoulder, the left shoulder in the head. And I also notice that we break structure. This is our last lower high, and then this is our last lower low. And once again, we know price needs to stay beneath this lower high for this downtrend to continue, which doesn't happen when it breaks right here. So once again, we have another sign showing us that this short-term buy for the retracement off the hour time frame is making sense. So as soon as price retests the neckline of this inverted head and shoulders, which we get right here, we also have another confirmation for a short-term buy with this reversal candlestick pattern. So we have all of these confirmations saying that this buy makes sense. So now it is time to enter our trade. So as soon as this candle closed, I went ahead and placed my entry. I put my stop loss beneath the most relevant low, and I placed my take profit at the most relevant high, which is right here. Now technically this is my most relevant high, but if we look at the risk to reward for a trade from here to here versus our stop loss being here, you can see how that is a negative risk to reward ratio on a trade, meaning that I would risk more than I would make if I won this trade. So that doesn't make sense. So I went ahead and put my take profit based off of this, which made it a little bit over a 1-to-1 trade. Now on the 1 hour, we could have based our take profit here, which is this previous market structure break, but we never really know how far price is going to retrace. So I just took a judgment call and put my take profit right here in this area because that made the most sense to me and it seemed like the safest trade. So if you have any questions over anything we talked about in this video, or you need help, just drop a comment below and I will be more than happy to help you out. With that being said, I'll catch y'all in the next one.